Everything we do will be to beat you. It may not be today. It may not have been last night, but the day will come.
A special salute for the truth, Sean Taylor. See, everywhere I go, you know I rep that you. Orange and green from head to toe, that's you.
What's up, guys? Welcome to NMDTV Canes all day. If you're rocking with the you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss out on a video. And today, I'm making this video for the Clemson fans, Miami fans, Hurricanes family. I'm going to talk to you guys at the end of the video, but I feel like it's my due diligence to talk to Clemson Nation, to talk to Tiger Nation, to talk to the We Too Deep crew. You know, I got to talk to you guys because I made a video. 5 reasons the Miami Hurricanes will beat the Clemson Tigers. And we all know by now that did not happen. And I said, hey, if they lose, you know, I'll be back on here like I am every Sunday talking with you guys. So, dear Clemson, let's talk about those 5 reasons I named. Let's go through them one-on-one and let's just get down to what happened last night. You know, I feel like as a content creator, you can approach something like this a lot of different ways. You can try to be funny. You can try to stand with your team, or you can be what I am. I'm a straight shooter, and I call it like I see them. No matter if it makes you mad, no matter if it makes you happy, long as I stay true to myself, I call it like I see them. And what happened last night was a straight up ass whooping. You know, anybody who's rocked with me on this channel from day one know, especially to my Hurricanes family, I shoot it to you guys straight. And I call it like I see them. And last night was a ass kicking from start to finish. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good at all. That's why I'm making this video Sunday morning, because I needed time to digress after grade A ass kicking. So reason number 1 I thought Miami would win was because of Death Valley is not really Death Valley during the pandemic times. From what I've heard is there were a lot of people there, and it was a good atmosphere. Not the same as Death Valley, but it was a good atmosphere. I don't think the crowd had an effect. You know, when I think of a crowd having an effect, I look at, you know, are there any penalties? You know, was there a lot of, you know, miscommunication in plays? But when you look at this game, a lot of the penalties were self-inflicted. Miami had a lot of, you know, offsides penalties. Miami had different things that happened that they basically shot themselves in the foot. Clemson's a good football team. Hell, I said that in the last video. They have good players. They are the champs, the ACC champs for a reason. So to beat them, you can't beat yourselves. And although I don't think Death Valley was Death Valley, I do think there was a lot of penalties that went against us that we caused upon ourselves. There also was a lot of BS calls, but that's not the reason we lost. Clemson got the dub. The next reason I said was I didn't believe in the defense. You know, I said, hey, Clemson, you're returning 3. You got 3 new starters in the secondary. Only DK is back in the secondary. There's no Isaiah Simmons coming back. You're young on the defensive line. I did not believe in this defense. And I underestimated Brent Venables. Is it Brent or is it Brett? I know y'all were getting at me in the chest. You know, it's Brent, it's Brett, whatever. But his scheme, the way he had that team playing, was masterful. I look at myself as a defensive guy. I've always loved the defensive side of football, the different schemes and things like that. And watching Brent call that game was great. Again, Miami did not help itself, because when you start the drive off 1st and 15, that feeds it to his hand. You know, and I'm going to talk about that in the next point. But Spectre, you know, hey, shout out to number 10, because Spectre was all over the field. Of course, 47, however you say his name, I already said that he was an old school style linebacker that'll knock you out. but we saw him make a big play on third down. Then he made a big play on 4th and 1. So, man, a lot of times you just got to give credit where credit's due. I said I didn't believe in that defense. And that defense made me a believer off of the plays that they were able to make and how horrible they made our offense look. Coach Venables, I underestimated him. Sometimes you got to be a man and admit it. Lashley's tempo. I do think Lashley's tempo would have been amazing, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. What hurt us is our penalties. So when you look at running a tempo, how do you stop somebody from running tempo? Well, if the person's, if there's a penalty, every freaking play, that's going to slow the tempo down. If the receivers can't catch passes, if it's an incomplete pass, that's going to slow the tempo down. So where I was wrong is this. I'm still a believer in Lashley's tempo, but there's no tempo if you don't execute properly. Credit Clemson for keeping us from executing properly, and we got to look in the mirror and figure out what wide receivers can make plays, because I really feel like other teams will try to go man, cover zero, stack the box, just like Clemson did. Clemson stacked the box against us and said, beat us if you can beat us, and we couldn't beat us. Stack the box, couldn't go left, couldn't go right, couldn't go up the field. And if there's any Miami fans that's listening to this, tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. Another point I made was De'Aaron King. I love me some De'Aaron King. That's my guy. That's my guy. And the mentality that I saw, that I said would come to this game, I saw. There's no doubt in my mind that De'Aaron King gave every ounce, every sweat, blood, sweat, tears, whatever you want to say. He put his heart on the line. He did everything he could, and he fought to the bitter end. 4th down, the game's over. He could easily threw the ball away or threw an incompletion. He runs in and takes a hit. But bottom line is he wasn't good enough to beat Clemson. Our offense as a whole wasn't good enough to beat Clemson. Clemson defense was everywhere. As I said, Brent, Coach Venables, he did his thing. Dabo Swinney had them boys ready to play. It's some things, sometimes you just don't even got to look at the film. It was just a straight up ass kicking. Score could have been worse, to be honest. And then I said offensive line. I had questions about you guys' offensive line. Honestly, I still wasn't impressed with Clemson's offensive line. I thought our defense did a great job getting to Trevor Lawrence. I think what Clemson did good was they did a lot of misdirection plays, a lot of scheming, and their scheme worked. Misdirection, get you out of place, throwback screen, misdirection ETN, and you get ETN in space, and he's gonna make you pay. I thought when it was man-on-man with the offensive line, we got back there to Trevor. We had Trevor running, but Trevor made good decisions. The coaching scheme or the offensive scheme for Clemson was good. And we really got to put this in perspective. We were playing Clemson without 2 of our starting safeties. 2 of our starting safeties was out. We didn't have our first starting safety, and then they kicked our second safety out on a BS targeting call. And then, it's a BS. The rule is BS. The first targeting call, Amari Carter, you just got to be smarter. The second one definitely wasn't it. But we were playing them, and McLeod got hurt. We were playing that offense without some of our best players. And we held strong with them. So the offensive line point, I'm still not impressed with the offensive line. But what I was impressed with was Dabo Swinney, was Coach Elliott, was the way that they schemed around our defensive line at times. Like I said, that throwback screen, that was just a hell of a play. The misdirection play to Travis Etienne, let's be honest, they've been running that play for years. Hell of a play by Etienne, breaking tackles and takes it to the house. When it's all said and done, we got our ass kicked. We got our ass kicked. But I'll tell you this, Canes fans. Listen, man, we'll be back. We will be back. You best believe it. Clemson fans, we are coming for you. And last night, y'all were better than us. Last year, or last night, last 3 times, y'all beat us. And we won't be the champs until we beat the champs. And you best believe everything we do will be to beat you. It may not be today. It may not have been last night. But the day will come. Whether it's next year, whether it's 2 years down the line. Why do you think Dabo Swinney decided to run the score up? Why do you think Dabo Swinney decided to run the score up? Because he knows Miami's on the come up. And he wants to try to squash every hope that we have. That there's only one team in the ACC. And right now, Clemson, you are the big dog. But you best believe, Miami, we are coming. Whether it's next year, the year after that, our time will come. Our time will come. Go Canes.